Hello, I'm Nora. I do a lot of arts and crafts, and I've just started a YouTube channel to very few people, but really hoping that I can continue sharing my crafts and my creativity with a larger audience. In this video, I'm going to detail 3 projects that I've recently worked on. I did a hand-embroidered bookmark, I worked on an oil painting for my dad, my second ever oil painting, and then I also one of my friends created a pillowcase from a vintage sweatshirt of my mom's. Just to give a little backstory on the project is my mom has a sweatshirt from business school, and she probably went to business school a while ago, around 30 years ago, from Kellogg, which is Northwestern's business school, and I have been wearing it very consistently since high school. So probably like 8 years of wear and tear from me. And it had gotten to the point where it was getting pretty ratty, and it was time for it to transition to a new life. So my friend, who is a much stronger machine sewer than I am, also really didn't want to risk damaging this because it's not like I can replace the fabric that I'm using. She worked on creating a pillow sham out of the Kellogg emblem on the sweatshirt. It turned out perfect. I'm super thrilled and happy with it, and my mom just moved, so it's a really great piece of decor for her new house. Basically, the process is cut out the fabric, and then we also got like another just cotton fabric to use as the backing for the other side of the pillowcase. Do a zipper basically down the middle piece of the throw pillow so it's easier and looks a little cleaner than having a zipper at the top. Make sure to use interfacing for both sides of the fabric, particularly the fabric that is used for the sweatshirt, because it's a little stretchy and doesn't have a lot of strength to maintain its shape, especially if it's being used for decor. That's kind of the process. It really doesn't take that long, which is great because I'm used to my projects taking forever because I do hand embroidery, and that is never a quick and smooth process. I also have like no footage of me working on the oil painting because sometimes when I work on paintings, I'm not always thrilled with how they turn out in the end, and so I honestly wanted to protect my sanity by not throwing a ton of time and effort into filming content for this painting if I absolutely hated the way that it turned out. But I'm really quite happy with it. It was a landscape painting of a place that we visited in Carmel, California last summer, and so that was great. I had a few mistakes from a technical standpoint. I did not prep the canvas at all, so there's a few weaknesses, but also a lot of room to grow as I continue with my artistic journey. The primary focus of this video is the hand-embroidered bookmark that I made, which I do have adequate material for, so that's wonderful. Alright, well, I hope you enjoy. I plan on doing a lot more crafting videos in the future and would love if more people followed along on my journey. I also document things pretty regularly on my Instagram, and I have a Substack newsletter. The next project in this video I'm working on is an embroidered bookmark. I'm just doing it on pretty basic cotton fabric, and I'm gonna do some lilies in a satin-inspired stitch. I can't say I'm the strongest at satin stitch. It's sometimes hard for me to get the placement right, but I really enjoy the look of it, and I think it's a really good way to do anything natural, like flowers. I'm trying to get more into reading since I've graduated college, and then all of the professional photography work that I've done has really slowed down, so I have a little bit more time, and it's just good for your brain. So I think having an embroidered bookmark would be highly motivating for me to actually want to pick up my books more. I've already made 2 other embroidered bookmarks as gifts. I make a lot of gifts for people, which I really enjoy and really enjoy giving to people. The only thing is sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish I had one for myself. So I'm just dedicating this project to me. Hopefully it won't take too long. My predictions are it won't take that much more. I've just been marking the shape of the bookmark in heat erasable pen, and then I'm going to do a duplicate of this so it can have the same size backing. I am going to put fusible interfacing on one of the sides of these to make it a little bit stiffer. I did this in both of my previous bookmarks, and they really helped maintain that stiffness and nicer look, and I just think it makes it look a lot better. So right now I'm messily freehand sketching all the flowers in. I use heat erase ball pen, so it's never that serious if I mess it up. Sometimes it's a little more difficult to transfer designs. I'm not tracing anything right now. Oftentimes I'll trace. But yeah, I use water-soluble papers sometimes for designs. I honestly haven't in a while. It's more something I did when I was first starting out. But I think sometimes the heat erasable can make it a little easier if you're working on a project for a while, because the like stickiness of the water-soluble paper can be kind of... if you're working on a long-term project, it can come off, and if you get wet, like, it could be an issue. Here's what we're working with to start. It's kind of hard to see the design because it's so washed out on the gray fabric, but pretty happy with all the freehand drawing of the flowers, and I'm ready to get started. I can't say I'm the best at like the silk or satin stitch with embroidery, but it's something that I've really wanted to get better at, and I think a bookmark would be a great way to get started. I had a super fun crafting day with my friend Elaine yesterday. We got a lot done. We both worked at Ansley Park in Atlanta, which is very peaceful, very calm and tranquil. And then we also did a bunch of fun things. We visited the Craftivist store for the first time, and then we also walked around different shops and had a super fun day together. Elaine is from New York, and I don't get to see her as much as I did when we went to the same school, but we always make the most of our time together, and I will be visiting her in New York City in July. I have made some progress on the bookmark. I'm probably about a third of the way through the second flower, trying to be pretty diligently about working on it. I think my perspective on crafting, which is probably pretty different than what I've heard generally, is I do not like working on multiple projects at the same time. I think a lot of it is I make a ton of stuff, but I actually don't have a ton of stuff that I can wear or use very much because, you know, I give so much of it away as gifts. And so I feel this extra sense of motivation to finish something so I can begin to wear it and use and have something to show for all the time and work I put into crafting. So I'm making a bookmark, and I've been working super consistently on this exclusively as opposed to anything else. Really the only time that I'll have multiple crafts is if they're two completely different mediums, if I have a deadline for one, but usually I like to stay pretty consistent because I love the satisfying feeling of actually finish something and then adding to the crafted items that I own and use, because so much of them I don't have, so I don't have something to save for it. So yeah, I'm hoping to finish the bookmark in a few days. I really, really, really want to use it. I think it'll be super cute. And like, I had just finished up my embroidered graduation cap, and I was like, I'm not gonna embroider for a while. I'm so sick of this. And then I was like, I really want a nice bookmark as I get more into reading after I've graduated. I'm also going to Europe with my dad in August, and so I want to read some art history books. So I have some greater appreciation of what we're seeing and experiencing art-wise when we're there. I'm literally like in my bed right now at 3 p.m. after work because why not? I think that I'm at a pretty good place today where I might actually be able to finish all of it. It's about 3:30 right now, and I'm not meeting my friend until 6:30 to shoot some of her graduation photos, so I don't know, it might be finally time to finish. So I've been working on this for a while, and usually I don't like taking breaks when I'm working on a long-term project, but it was Father's Day this past Sunday, and I really wanted to paint something for my dad, and so I embarked on my second ever oil painting in my life, and that took me like a week straight of really disciplined work. So I literally did not even pick up or touch my embroidery. It's kind of unfortunate because when I graduated college, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be able to get so much crafting done, and I'm just gonna have so much free time to work on everything I want to do creatively. And it is a really good thing that I've actually had quite a bit of structure to my days, so I've haven't turned down a single plan with my friends. If someone wants to do something socially, I'm gonna do it, because there's not gonna be as much time to do that in the future when I start work and everyone starts to move away. So there's that, and then I'm working a part-time internship. I really enjoy it. It's I've worked there before. It's part with Georgia Tech, and I really like working there. So that also has taken up my time, and it's been more than a month since I've graduated. The oil painting was the first project I've actually finished. So I've just been super busy with everything, but might be able to wrap this up today. We shall see. I need to lock in and get focused and stay with my phone. So here it is before she gets cut out. The surrounding fabric looks really ratty, but I think I didn't get anything on the actual design itself. Right now, I'm heat erasing everything with a steamer. I'm kind of scared of my iron ruining the nice side, so I'm doing the heat erase with the steamer because my iron's kind of iffy at times, honestly. I decided to switch up the backing of the bookmark to green fabric instead of gray. I think it matches the design pretty well, and I think it'll just make it look a little more interesting. It's all done, very imperfect, but that's okay. I'm not selling it, it's just for me. I think my weaknesses in projects like these definitely arise whenever I have to bring out the sewing machine. Embroidery is very delicate, and whenever I embroider, especially intricate designs like these, I always get fabric warping, and so when you translate it to a sewing machine, it's a little scary. And then sometimes, obviously, if the fabric stays warped, then it can impact how the final bookmark looks. Honestly, I really like it. I'm not selling it. It does not have to be perfect. The little imperfections are okay. It's handmade. It's par for the course with handmade things. It definitely took me a super duper long time, so I'm very glad that it's done. I hopefully will be more motivated to read now. I finally will have time to read, given that I have finished this thing, and I definitely think there's such an enhanced sense of creative ownership when you make something yourself. Me personally, I absolutely love to say, I made this bookmark myself, completely finished it on my own. And so even if it isn't perfect, I think there's, again, that enhanced creative ownership is huge. Every time I read a book, I'll remember all the time and effort I spent on creating this absolutely unique thing for myself. So exciting stuff. I, for real this time, do not plan on embroidering for a while, unless it's in decorative clothing. I'm traveling to Europe, so I'm considering doing a Euro summer styling, potentially learning how to make some clothes as well. As I'm complaining about the sewing machine, I'm setting myself up for more of that. But I also have some painting, some drawing stuff, some crochet, so a lot of other options. Just completed 2 big embroidery projects, so I think I'm done for now. At least, I say that now.